Welcome, Sandeep, to meet Praneeth. And first of all, thank you so much for bringing your success story to everyone who is watching this channel today. And so let's start with some of the questions that we discussed. And that way we can bring out the story to everyone and then also discuss some of the points or let's say, some things that you want to share that would help people to craft that profile that is needed for EB-1. So if you don't mind and can give a little bit of overview of what you do right now and how you come to US, so that would be really great to start with.
All right, thanks, Praneeth, and thank you for having me on this your channel. So, myself, Sandeep, I'm currently working as bioinformatic research scientist at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which is in Memphis, Tennessee, USA. And I came to US after finishing my PhD for my postdoctoral training. I joined my postdoctoral training at La Jolla Institute for Immunology in California. And that's how I end up in US and starting to enter into the process of how to get the green card here.
Great. So you came to United States to pursue your PhD, right?
I came after my PhD to for
Oh,
my
after your
postdoc.
PhD. So where did you do your PhD in India?
I did my PhD in Institute of Microbial Tech in a joint program by Institute of Microbial Technology,
Right.
Chandigarh, and with Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, India.
Great. So can you give some insights on which visa you came on how was the process?
So I came on J-1 visa,
Mm-hmm.
and J-1 visa was kind of very smooth. So initially they kind of have this visa for 5 years,
Okay.
and like initially they offered for 1 year and could be extended up to 5 years.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And
And
so you came to the university, you pursued your postdoc. And how long
yeah.
was your postdoc here in US?
It was roughly around 4 years, like 3 years and like 8 to 9 months. And then I moved to this position here at St. Jude, where I transferred my J-1 visa here. And
Okay.
at the same time, I was also going through this waiver process.
Okay.
And I completed my waiver process after joining at St. Jude.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of converted this visa from J-1 to H-1B.
Oh, okay. And I think we should definitely do a session sometime to cover a little bit more on the J-1 waiver, right? Because a lot
Yeah.
of people are on J-1 and they might be looking into ways of how to transition to H-1 or directly into green card. So we can definitely do that at some other time. But today
Yeah.
we'll just focus on your EB-1 journey.
No
So,
problem.
so you came here in which year of in the
I
United States?
came here in 2016.
2016. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And you got your green card in 2022, right? So that's six
Yeah.
years. Wow, that's amazing. So, Sen, can you tell a little bit about how you planned your journey of EB-1? Like, I know you started doing that after you came to St. Jude, right? So, what
Mm.
was the process? What were the like thoughts in your mind when you started crafting your journey?
Yeah, I think I would like to take this opportunity to thank my friend and my senior, Dr. Bharat Pawar. And he was actually going through the screen card process while I was there doing my postdoc. So he was sharing his first-hand experience that these are the things that you cannot miss out. Like you
Mhm.
should start working on your reviews, you start working on being on editorial boards. And those were the things that kind of sparked me. Like even if I mean, if you describe this EB1 process, this is all weird and there are so many uncertainties. But there is just something good in there that you start realizing like you should do something about your career,
Yes.
like being on review process, being on editorial process. I mean, it asks you to go beyond your job description. It asks you to go beyond your kind of you are doing your postdoctoral part.
Hmm.
So that was kind of a spark point in there, and he helped me to kind of reaching out to many people so that I could be on review process, I could be on editorial process, and eventually those are the things that I could kind of add in my EB1B as one of the condition.
Right. No, I think you're exactly right because EB1B is a package where you have to add different layers of cream to make it a process or a cake which can directly go and you can apply with
Yeah.
it, right? So you're right. There are a lot of different things that you have to do along with your current profile of work to make your profile applicable for EB1.
Yeah.
So coming to an overview, so let's say you started filing or started your journey in 2021 or 2020. So before that, you had at least 4 years of experience working with St. Jude. You had your postdoc. So can you give an overview of like how much experience you had, how much time you have invested in academia before even targeting to EB-1? So that way people can understand how much time it takes to build that profile that you have.
Yeah, so the profile start with like there are three different conditions here that we were targeting mostly in the research field. So the first thing is publication. So we are already in like in PhD or postdoc or in our academic training, we are already targeting publications so that we can publish what we are doing. And the another thing about the timeline, like initially it was my roughly around 4 years of my postdoc,
Okay.
and you can say 1.5 year at St. Jude when I filed it.
1.5.
So 1 year and maybe 2 or 3 months, yes, because I joined in January 2021 and I filed. Sorry, I joined in January 2020 and I filed in March 2021.
Right. And remind me, you filed with EB-1B, right?
Right.
Okay, so St. Jude basically filed for on your behalf.
Correct.
Great, great, great. So let's move on to the next question. And a lot of people ask this question that because in your case you definitely went with St. Jude, so you had their attorney that you were working with. So how was the process? Like, did you approach anyone at St. Jude to carry out your journey, or was it like they wanted to pursue an EB-1 for you? So how that process went along? Like, did you request anyone, or is it something that St. Jude provided with the offer that you were working for?
Yes, St. Jude is very extraordinary in helping like immigration process. So they already have a system in place to help in going through this process. So when I joined here, and even before joining, they were saying once you complete your first year at St. Jude, after the first year of completion of first year, you would be in line for filing your green card.
Oh, wow.
You need to at least complete 1 year at St. Jude to be eligible for filing green card here.
Make sure that you'll stay here for some time.
Yeah, kind of.
Right, right.
And after that, in the meantime, they are also giving you some samples, like all sorts of help that you might be looking forward to them.
Okay.
And so that you can prepare your recommendation letters or your petition, or you can kind of justify your contribution, how you're gonna claim your points.
Right. So yeah, and coming to that, so what a lot of people ask this question, like in your case, how many criteria you targeted for EB-1? I think you need 2 out of 6, but can you list out the criteria that you were targeting, like publications, citations, peer review, and so on?
I mean, if you see the top tier category, the one was the publication and the academic qualifications, like having the education qualification and then having the 3 years or 4 years of experience.
Yes.
So that was there. Then it was like about the publications. And eventually in biometrics, so we know that we could get collaborations and we can get more publication than the other people in biomedical sciences. So that was kind of an extra edge for being in bioinformatics.
Yep.
And the third one was about being on judging the others' work.
Okay, peer review.
Yeah, peer review. So we were explaining that through how many publications we have reviewed and how many how many journals I am sitting on editorial board.
Okay.
So that was kind of capacity to show that you are able to judge others' work.
Yes. Yes.
In the field.
So
and the third one was
yes, please go.
Sorry, the fourth one was about how can you kind of how can you show your work is kind of applicable to the United States.
Yes.
Yeah, and in that case we were targeting like these many citations are there and these many are also from US and these many universities and these many kind of PIs or principal investigator or professors are actually using our work in their lab.
Right. Right.
And also through the recommendation letters. So that was So that's how we kind of target.
So so I think I also kind of targeted the very similar criteria. So can I ask like how many publications you had, citations you had at the time of filing, and how many peer reviews you had?
So I was very aggressive about going through the reviews. So I was having like more than 100 reviews done by that time for around 30 journals.
Wow, 100 reviews. Wow.
I mean, I was preparing it in a way that there should be no space left for kind of RFEs.
Yes. So that the USCIS can come back and say that you don't have that much number of reviews.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of judging like how many people were doing. So people were doing 20 and 30. But eventually I got an opportunity to extend my network way beyond my close friends. And then
Wow.
they keep inviting me for the review in different journals. And once you start accepting some reviews, like
Yes.
review for reviewing articles, then you keep on getting it. Like I have also written one article that you can find on my Medium, that how you can you be peer reviewed. What are the things that you can do yourself?
Yes.
Like, and that's what like kind of my recipe I was following, like being visible,
Right.
being open to review even without you are not actually reviewing for yourself, you are reviewing for your friend or someone.
Yeah.
But if they got kind of they're gonna give you request you while they are on editorial board, or they
Right.
were going to forward if someone could coming to them, and then they will ask you, oh, I don't have the time, why don't you ask him?
Yeah. So it's kind of becoming reachable to more and more people and
Yeah.
getting to
And
know.
then in terms of publications, so I think while the time of filing I had around 50 publications.
Okay. Wow.
And in terms of the citations, so I was going kind of on the conservative level for the citation at that point. So, you can count citation in different platforms. You can count citation on Google Scholar, on ResearchGate, or Web of Science.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going through somewhere where they had a minimum number of the citations. And I was also excluding the self citations. So at the
Okay.
time of filing, I only showed around 800 citation, I guess.
800 citations. Okay. Wow.
But even then, my Google Scholar had more than like 1,000 or 1,100. I'm pretty sure.
But you removed the ones that you self-cited, or maybe the
No,
number.
I first took like only the Web of Science, because Web of Science has
Oh,
has
Web of
less
Science.
number of the
Yes.
science
Mm-hmm.
citation than the Google Scholar, right?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I was kind of going through like low profile, so that if there is some RFE,
You
I can
can
show
show the
I
Google
can show
Scholar.
like, oh, there is more than that.
Yeah, that's really good to know. And I think in terms of evidences, so you would have shown all the publications you have authored, all the publications that are citing your work,
Yeah.
all the peer reviews. Is there any other evidence that you used to support your petition?
I think I also requested journals, like for I was reviewing. Can you please give me a letter that I have reviewed these many manuscript for you?
Yeah,
And they were very generous about it.
acknowledgement
They
letter.
gave the kind of letter like, oh, you have reviewed these many publications for this and these journals, and you were invited because you were expert in the field. That was kind of also justifying. They
Right,
were inviting me because of the
your
skills I have
skill
gained,
set.
right? Yeah.
Yes, yes. No, that's good to know. And were
Yeah.
you a
Sorry.
member of?
And
Sorry, go
there
ahead.
are a couple of other things that I have like kind of added there in addition to that, requesting a similar letter for my adult membership.
Mhm.
Also, similar letter for maybe academic societies that I've been a member of.
Yes, can you lay out which societies you were member of? A lot of people ask this.
I took only like a couple of them which were like free to get. I
Okay.
didn't pay any, maybe Computational Biology Society or one European Society for Tumor Immunogenicity, I guess. Tumor
Right.
Immunology. EATI, you can also be a member for free there. And there are a couple of other, like two or three other societies where you can be a member by not,
Invitation,
yeah,
right, based on your skill set, not by paying for the
yeah,
member.
not by paying for it. Yeah,
Right. And I think you were talking about recommendation letters as well, right?
yeah.
So for example, I also reached out to different people, got recommendation letters based on the work I have published. So what was your process? Like, how did you got to know how many people you are going to target, and how many recommendation letters did you submit with your petition?
So I submitted 6 letter, and they were kind of broadly divided like dependent or independent thing. The
Mm-hmm.
dependent means whom you have worked with directly. So I
Mm-hmm.
have two people who I requested for my dependent recommendation letters,
Okay.
for my PhD supervisor and my postdoc supervisor.
Right.
And I requested 4 of them which were uh, like independent. That means they have cited my work, or I know them through some other networking.
But you have not worked with them
I
directly.
haven't worked with them. So, and they're also from, let's say, one is from Europe, the another is from Asia, and the other is from like Australia. So I'm also trying to spread out them in different part of the world.
Right. Right.
So 3 of them have cited my work,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them I approached because he requested the data from my publication before citing it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And he got published in Nature Biotech. So that was a very good citation. I was the first author, and he also requested the data from me.
Right.
So we were already in an email thread that I can kind of to kind of request like, oh, remember, like you are working on this paper and it got published very good.
Yes.
So now I'm in process of filing my green card. Would you be able to write the same thing that you have done
Right.
in my recommendation letter?
Right. Right. No, I think that is something that I also did, like reached out to people who cited my work. And
Yeah.
luckily, I reached out to 10 or 12 people, six responded, and I submitted all those. I think four
Yeah.
were submitted by with the petition. So,
I think it was a similar number for me. And eventually, like I have seen some of the people were citing like very often.
right.
So it seems to be they would be knowing me, right?
Right.
So I assumed it and I approached those people first, and that
Mhm.
was like high success rate. Most of them were aware of my work and they said,
So how long it took you to file the I-140? I think for me it took around 6 to 7 months to get all the evidence together, file the petition. So how long was it for you to get everything done?
yeah, so I'm developing some biometrics tools that were helpful for designing vaccine candidates.
Wow.
And that got really spiked up because of people working on COVID vaccine and all those.
Yes. Yes.
So I see a huge surge in my citation. So if the site like if they're asking for more card, but the green card helped me to having a good relief about the immigration. And like when I want to visit India, I don't need to worry about getting in the line again and going through that uncertainty.